This video is for people who are sick and tired of being driven by fear. And I decided to film this in my car because I thought it would be a really great analogy, and I love analogies. But let's get right to it. So there are two definitions of fear, and I want to understand which one you're living by. So one is fuck everything and run, but the more PG version is false evidence appearing real, or two, face everything and rise. Rise, people. Okay. So I want to talk to you about a story that is personal to me, and well, it's just an example of something that I had happen to me in my life. And it was an example of a situation where I was being led by fear. And maybe you can relate to this, or maybe you can relate to another situation where it's clearly obvious that's being driven by fear. But I wanted to give you a real life example for you to understand what this looks like when it shows up in your life. So a couple of years ago, I had broken up, or no, me and my ex had broken up, which is obviously why he's my ex. But after the breakup, and this was like 2 or 3 months after our breakup, I had stumbled on a photo on Instagram or Facebook or something, I don't even know, but a photo of him and another girl. And I was like, who is this girl? Is she dating him? Have they been dating for a long time? It's only been 3 months. Are they falling in love? Oh my God, I can't believe they're in love. Oh my God, are they gonna get married? Are they gonna get married this year? Am I gonna be the lady who is a dog lady who just like lives at home by herself with a dog, and like my dog is my best friend, and he's gonna have a family, and they're gonna have 2 or 3 kids, and they're gonna live in this beautiful house in California, and they're gonna have a fantastic life, and I'm gonna be here with my dog just crying. And my mind, like that, all of that, those thoughts became like, it was so natural to go into the storytelling of like, oh my God, what if? And that all came from me just like looking at a photo or seeing a photo of him and a girl. Like, who knows, like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think that story to itself, or in itself, sorry, is an example of how your mind is so powerful, and your mind is an amazing storyteller where it can think up a story to affirm a belief or a fear that you have in a matter of seconds. Like, mine was just like, it was so easy to go down that spiral. And I want us to take the time to realize that, or I want you to realize that your mind tends to default to fear-based attitudes or to fear-based thoughts. So it's going to think about the worst case scenario. It's going to think about what could possibly go wrong. That's the most painful situation for you. And I want us to be more cognizant of this and aware of this. And actually, I'm going to show you I'm going to like film a shift gear situation, but shift gears to the car analogy, shift gears with your mind and be more aware of this and actually change that default. So instead of it being on autopilot, so many car analogies, instead of being on autopilot, you're going to change that default and move it towards the positive. So what are the good things that can happen? What are the fantastic things that can happen? What are the amazing things that could happen, instead of all of the what ifs that lead to pain, hurt, or the worst case situations? All right, so most of us, and actually I want to sum this up again. So as I said, most of us are living in autopilot and letting our past behaviors and habits dictate how we live our lives, as well as letting the past, that's a key word, influence how we think about the future or the present. So most people tend to live in this autopilot mode and just default to the negative, and again, default to what could go wrong, default to what's happened to them in the past. But that is not you. No. You came upon this, wow, I can't talk. You stumbled across this video, and you are gonna change your internal GPS and figure out how you can default to the positive and just be more aware of the mind. And again, this isn't an easy process where like, I just tell you this and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna be the most positive person ever. No, it's something that takes a bit of time, and you having to readjust. And just, I think, if anything, if you need to take away one lesson from this video, is just be aware of the mind and try to change how your thoughts come about, because your thoughts are really what dictate your emotions. And I think that's something that people don't really realize, is that they think an emotion or a feeling comes first, but it's really a thought that triggers a feeling, because that thought has connotations with it. Okay, so how do you let fear stop, or how do you stop fear from driving your life and being the driver in your life? And before I go into that, I actually want to share one of my favorite quotes, which is basically, I don't know who it's by, but it's, what if I fall, but oh my darling, what if you fly? And I think that quote is a perfect example of the negative and the immediate thoughts of what if I fall, but you being proactive and taking the initiative to say, but what if I fly? So here are my 3 tips on how to overcome fear and how to stop fear. I keep saying let fear. How to stop fear from being the driver in your life. Number 1, and the first easiest step and the most important step, is breathing. Just take a second to breathe. Like, how nice is that? And notice your breath, be aware of your breath, focus on your breath, actually. Like, try to tune out everything, try to tune out anything that's coming up inside of you or all these thoughts that are happening. Just breathe, 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 breathe. And I know some people actually really like this humming technique where they go, I used to not be a fan of that, but a lot of people say it's actually really, and I've tried it and it does help, where you attune your body and your mind to a sound or to a tune and really just focus on that. Focus on the sound that is, that's why in a lot of yoga studios they say, or whatever. It's really nurturing and great for your body to just feel the vibrations, feel that tune, stay in touch. These couples walked by and they were so cute. So you can see them right there. Anyways, that's number 1. So breathe, focus on something your body can create just to really take away from anything that's going on internally as well as the thoughts that might be racing. Okay, you guys, my bad. I think I got so caught up in recording that I did the order out of whack. So basically, method number 2 to stop fear from driving your life is what we just talked about, which is basically to use your imagination, to default to the positive, and instead of thinking of the bad things, try to think of the good. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm parked in this situation or this area where I've been parked too long and I feel like people are like, why is she parked there? Anyways, number 3, figure out what your fear is and take the time to really understand it. And this is probably one of the harder ones. It's gonna take a longer period of time and a lot of self-reflection, but think about, when is this fear coming up, or why is it coming up? Dig into the why. It's really important to ask yourself why 3 times. So like, why am I feeling this way? Why does it happen when these situations happen? Why do I react the way I react? And just really try to uncover what is being triggered within you. And I think this is where a therapist or talking it out loud with someone else that you know, who you're close with, who really knows you well, could be really helpful, because a lot of these fears come from, whether it's beliefs in society, your childhood, a situation that happened to you in the past. Like, there's a lot to uncover and dig deep into, but it's a matter of time and self-reflection and you really thinking about, how can I help myself? How can I ease myself into being less anxious or less stressed or less scared when these situations arise? And a way to do this that I think is really powerful if you don't want to lean into talking to someone just yet is like, keep a little notepad on your phone, or if you have a physical one, that's amazing, but write down when you feel the most scared and be curious about it. Like, what's happening? What happened before it? Did I have a bad day? Were there other elements that related to it, like my environment or just like little things? Because it's funny, like there are some obvious fears, like, if you're afraid of heights, but like there are some fears that are a little bit more subtle, and it's really it's really important to take a curious look at it and to be very reflective in these moments, just to be able to address it. Because I think the more you learn about your fear, the more you're able to address them and to feel better and to feel confident and use your imagination and to feel at ease and at peace. So that is my talk for the day, my life wisdom. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. You should join this community of amazing people who want to learn how to be better at life and are figuring out life together. And I love doing these videos, so please comment below what you liked, what you didn't like, and give it a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell, all the things, and yeah. Okay, bye.